Hey, what up, everybody? It's your boy Kenny coming at y'all once again. And for those of you joining us for the first time, welcome to Fandom Frequency. We get into all the different corners of the multiverse of pop culture. We break it all down around here. Anime, comic books, movies, horror, you name it, we talk about it around here. Click all the buttons below the video. It always helps the show out immensely. But today, y'all know from the thumbnail, this is the final Scream 6 update right here, right around the corner, 4 days before the wide release Friday all over the place, and technically 3 days before the early release on the 9th, Thursday, March 9th, the day of, that you can actually go out and see the very first screenings to the public of Scream 6, man. I am so fucking hyped to see this movie right now, guys. I am going to be seeing it on Friday night, and I got my tickets secured, all set, ready to go. Can't wait to see it, man. But make sure y'all avoid those spoilers. Make sure you avoid those spoilers. We will not be going in any spoilers right here. I ended up almost inadvertently getting spoiled just prepping this breakdown right here, getting my stuff together, getting my footage and all that. So be careful, y'all. You might not even want to, if man, like just be careful looking up anything about this movie. Be careful. Excuse me, because I might have gotten spoiled on two potential deaths. One I kind of guessed, the other one didn't really have any indication of for sure. So might have got spoiled on some cool shit, but we'll see what happens. But just be careful, y'all. Just a big warning out there. But with no further ado, we're going to be getting into this. And just a small update for the most part. A few new tidbits and details. A lot of new images and some new cool stuff from people getting to go see the immersive experience in LA. Down there, I think in Santa Monica area of the Scream 6 immersive experience that a lot of the diehard Scream fans just attended over this past weekend. I unfortunately heard about it last minute, so I didn't get a chance to try to get down there to check it out myself because I'm only about a couple hours away from there. So bummer, but no worries. I'll have to try to make it next time if they do something cool like that, because I guess they kind of recreated the whole shrine or whatever. So that was probably a pretty cool thing to go see. But starting off the breakdown, kind of update stuff going down right here, we're going to begin with the latest featurette and probably one of the last pieces of footage they're going to release of the film before it came out. I did come across like another featurette, which was kind of crazy, and I don't even know if this contains spoilers or not, so it's kind of tricky and scary. I might have to check it out, so be careful of that. But this one for sure doesn't have spoilers in it. It was an official one they put out there. This other one might have been a leak, so I'm not going to throw that in here, but that was a crazy thing I might have. So it's crazy, dude. It's crazy looking up things right now. But anyway, here we go. We're going to get into this featurette. Ghostface has never been this ruthless or something like that. They've all been hyping up the brutality that Ghostface is going to bring to this latest installment. So let's see what they're getting into here. And I haven't really seen this featurette, so I'm going to be reacting in real time right here. So let's check it out.
Please help me! Behind you!
Damn.
With each film, Ghostface is getting more intense.
It followed me here, and it's gonna keep coming for us.
This Ghostface is the most ruthless and just killing people for killing's sake.
That sticks out to me.
The rules have changed. We are continuing to top what came before.
There's never been one like me. I'm something different.
Setting it in New York adds so much horror.
Guys?
Ghostface can hide amongst so many people.
This movie pushes things farther than they've ever been.
We need to fight back.
Ready? I'm ready. Come on, mother!
There's a relentlessness that is unique to this specific Ghostface.
You see, that all sticks out to me. There's a few key details that definitely stick out to me there with this particular featurette here, y'all. One in particular that I will say really sticks out to me was the point where Melissa Barrera was talking about how this Ghostface is so relentless that he's almost killing for killing's sake. So that's implying, is this a Ghostface with no motive? Are there Ghostface just killing for killing's sake? Does that lean into more of that cult of Ghostface theory that a lot of fans, such as myself, are really reading into and kind of throwing a lot of their I'm kind of throwing my hat into that pile right there, kind of throwing my bets on that side of it, you know? So does that indicate that sort of thing? Sort of, but not really, not necessarily, not entirely, but it definitely kind of leans more in that direction, kind of hints at something like that. Maybe this is going to be a wholly different Ghostface in that regard, where there's not like a really deep, complicated motive for why they're killing, you know what I'm saying? And that could be something completely fresh and original to the franchise and something we've never quite seen before. So that's something that's hella interesting right there for sure. And another aspect of this little preview right here that was very interesting was the fact that the directors as well, Radio Silence, one of the guys was saying that there is something very relentless and brutal, or something very relentless. It's that word they use a lot about this specific Ghostface, and to me, that's just sticking out in something that like relentless. That means that like they're like persistent and don't give up, and like you can't get them down. You know what I'm saying? That is something that I never really heard them really describe Ghostface in that way before in the past, at least in any interviews or anything behind the scenes I remember watching leading up to any of the Scream films 4 through 6 here. So if that's something that they said before in the past, y'all let me know, and let me know in the comment section for some of the slightly older Scream fans out there, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm only in my late 20s, so I wasn't necessarily there from Jump Street in 96, looking online and all that shit when the internet was barely getting out there in the late 90s, early 2000s, looking at stuff about Scream at the time. So I'm coming to this in more of the modern era for sure. But that was another key aspect of this featurette that definitely stuck out to me. You know, we got some new shots here and there, some new shots of Ghostface, some new shots of some of the other characters, but a lot of recycled footage that we've seen before from a lot of the other trailers. So I like how this one didn't necessarily spoil too much, and I like that. I think most of the marketing overall has done a great job at, I think, and not spoiling too much. I think they put out just a few too many TV spots for sure, but I think a lot of the modern bigger movies and franchises and tempos and things of that nature, blockbusters. I think a lot of movies in that regard these days just have that issue with the TV spots. I think they just try to pump it out there just to make sure they get it out to as many normies as possible. People that aren't necessarily in our fandom bubble, that keep up with all the latest releases at all times, every year, all year long, you know what I'm saying? Going to the movies all the time, streaming and watching movies and TV series all the time, you know what I'm saying? Everyone doesn't necessarily live and breathe this stuff the way we do, the way the people like you that are watching this video right now necessarily. So they definitely got to get it out to those folks. But for people like us, it's a little bit annoying, that's for damn sure. But just got to be careful for those spoilers out there, y'all. Definitely be careful. And the only other thing that's like really concrete that isn't really spoilerish that I definitely want to get into in this last Scream 6 update before we get into the actual spoiler discussions and some of the other fun content I got planned around the release of Scream 6 actually being out there this weekend and beyond that the rest of this month. So it's going to be essentially a big old Scream month. It's a Scream, baby. And we're going to be getting into these little small details here into where there's actually a little bit of an update here in the fact that we actually get some images and first looks and some actual real more concrete looks at some characters that we've barely seen or haven't seen at all that have been name dropped and confirmed to be in there by actor and character name and whatnot. So now we're going to check that out, courtesy of HelloSydney.com, a really dope website that always shares all the latest and greatest news in the world of Scream. And now I'm sharing the screen here, trying to show y'all this latest update right here. And it's just photos, just some official photos and whatnot from the film. Nothing too spoilery, but some new behind the scenes flicks right there, stuff like that of the director and the other co-director right there. And that's them right there, man. Matt Bettinelli, Tyler Gillette Open. You know what I'm saying? And there's Sam right there. You know what I'm saying? Staring at probably Billy's costume there because, you know, you got the whole shrine of all 9 Ghostface killers right there. And then you got Sam right there in the elevator. That's a new shot I don't think we've seen before. Looking like she's going down to the shrine area from what we've seen in the trailers. There's Tara and Sam looking like I think they're still in that theater shrine area. Looking like Tara almost looks like she's smiling, but at the same time it almost looks like she is scared. So it's kind of weird to tell. But Sam definitely looks concerned and scared. So it's definitely, maybe she's just distressed and it was just a weird shot. Who knows? And then you got my girl Jasmine Savoy Brown, aka Mindy Mix Martin, right there on the subway. We've all seen part of that sequence in the trailers, so be interesting to see what she's looking at that particular time. Probably looking at one of the Ghostface dressed up there in that scene we've seen in the trailers. Scene we've seen. That's it's funny. Anyway, and then you get another. We've seen that image before, I believe. There's a couple newer images, just kind of some still images of them sneaking around in the aisles there when Ghostface has the shoddy over there in the bodega. And then that's another new shot of them all shocked and whatnot, seeing Ghostface kill that dude. And there's a new shot of them running around the block or whatever, probably running into that bodega initially. And then this is a brand new shot we haven't seen before as well of Sam talking to the character of Danny Brackett that I believe is her neighbor and also a new love interest from what I've heard as well. So in case that's spoilery for you, my bad, but don't really think that's necessarily a spoiler. You can kind of tell that just from this image alone right here. And I believe Tara and Chad are over there on the left, over there on your left right now. And I believe they're paired up as well, and they got a whole romantic angle going on just from like the little tidbits I might have seen from a literal TV spot and this image right here. Gives me some or a couple of the small shots in the TV spots and trailers, and just this particular image to me sort of confirms that Tara and Chad, I think, are going to be romantically involved for sure, and I think Danny Brackett is going to be the new love interest for Sam in this one for sure as well. But please, if that's the case, don't make him the killer, because if they make the freaking love interest of the main final girl again the freaking killer, I'm going to lose it. I'm like, don't repeat that again, please. For the love of God, please don't do that. And then you got Jason Carvey, played by the great Tony Revolori right there. That's going to be one of the new characters. He's going to be a fellow film geek. That's going to be one of Tara's classmates, I believe, over there at Blackmore University, the college they're going to be attending in New York. And, you know, we haven't seen much of him either in this thing, but I think that there is potential for him to either get got or potentially be something more sinister. We'll see what happens there. And then you get a new shot right there of Kirby working with Detective Bailey, played by Dermot Mulroney, of course. And I believe it's been confirmed that Kirby Reed is an FBI agent, but she's definitely something in law enforcement or in that, you know, category. So going to be interesting to see how she's working the case and what she's been looking into with these Ghostface killings. Has she been looking at everything from 96 to today? It's going to be interesting to see what's been going on. I've seen the popular theory, and I kind of subscribe to it as well, that I think there's going to be potentially Ghostface attacks going on right at the beginning and potentially right before the events we see in the film, in the chronological timeline, in the universe of the movie. I think there's going to be kills that go on off screen that happen before the film and just as it's beginning that tie into a whole killing spree that's going to carry on throughout the rest of the film and all that and whatnot. So I think that's one thing that's going to be going down, and our girl Kirby right here is going to be the one investigating it and looking into it even before Dermot Mulroney's character of Detective Bailey gets involved in it. And I don't think he does until his daughter Quinn Bailey gets attacked by Ghostface herself, or something like that, because you would figure if she's in the group of friends here, she's going to get attacked at some point. So you figure that's how it's all going to tie together. And there you go, seeing a shot of Mindy Meeks Martin talking to Kirby Reed right there in the shrine area. And you get a whole drawing of Sidney Prescott right there. And you also get some more drawings of Sidney Prescott throughout the years in Scream 3 and Scream 4, Scream 2. So that's kind of interesting as well. I'm like, what does that mean? You know what I mean? So just kind of these weird sketches of Sydney over the years. Kind of cool to see, but also kind of creepy as well. And then you get a shot of Gail in her apartment in that whole sequence of her talking shit to Ghostface in the first ever call we ever see with freaking Gail Weathers talking to Ghostface. I'm happy it's finally happening this far into the goddamn franchise, man. She's always gotten down with the Ghostface killers and people when they're unmasked and things are going down, and she's survived and had chase sequences and awesome moments like that. But just never got a phone call with her, so I'm glad we finally did it. And there you go with Jack Champion's character of Ethan Landry, however you say it. He's going to be one of the students, apparently. And y'all saw from my 6 Suspects video, he is way up there on my suspects list because we have not seen much of this guy. And he just looks fishy to me. And then you got Chad over there, man, chilling in his Blackmore University's hoodie. Every time we see this guy in this movie, I swear, almost every shot we've seen of him, he's wearing that hoodie. He must really love that school, I tell you. And then you got a shot of Sam and or David Brackett, not Danny Brackett. Sorry, y'all. Right there with the ladder, with that whole sequence of Annika trying to cross over to the other side, and I believe potentially her and maybe other characters might not make it through that sequence. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it's like some of the stuff that potentially may float out there may not be as surprising depending on what you're paying attention to in these little things that they're showing us in the marketing so far. But hey, just depends on what you're looking at. And this is a shot we've seen plenty of times in the trailers before as well. Getting another shot of them chilling in somebody's apartment, dorm room, whatever, what have you. I think this is also where the sequence goes down of them crossing over that ladder to another building and whatnot. So I think that's a whole thing that's going down right there. That's a whole sequence they've been kind of piecing out throughout the marketing that they're kind of splicing together out of sequence and out of order. So we don't necessarily know the exact outcome of what's going on. There might be some CGI shenanigans that have been going on in trailers as well. I remember seeing that floating around, and it kind of looked like that to me as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how that all pans out. You got David Brackett over there across the way. Very Scream 4-esque right there. And then you got Liana Liberado's character of Quinn Bailey, Detective Bailey's daughter, I believe, and all that. And, she's looking quite distressed there. Looking at her right there, man, she'd make a good Jean Grey. You know what I'm saying? Maybe a good Mary Jane, depending on how her acting chops are, you know what I mean? But anyways, getting back focused here. And then this is the very first shot we've seen of Henry Czerny's character, Dr. Christopher Stone, my number one suspect to be either a Ghostface killer or one of the killers, or behind it all here going into this thing right here, potentially tying in everything together from the beginning. He has the age, creepy stuff. We haven't seen a lot of him either. He does play good villains. He looks creepy even in this image. I am suspicious of this guy. And then you get a shot of Annika Kyoko, who's played by Devin Nakota. And we haven't had a whole lot of different footage of her in the film and things of that nature. And yeah, but interesting to see her there rocking her bucket hat over here. And then there's a shot of Laura Crane, a.k.a. the great, talented, amazing Samara Weaving. Another almost, scream queen in her own right these days. But yeah, the character of Laura Crane, which I believe, I don't know if this is confirmed or not, so just something I've seen out there, so fair warning, but I believe she might be a professor at Blackmore University, I believe, just something I might have heard. And there you go with another shot of Detective Bailey. That was out before. Oh no, this is a new shot right here of the great Jenna Ortega right there as Tara. In the shrine, you got the whole stab poster layout right there in the background. I love it, man. I love the whole Easter egg kind of vibe thing they got going on here, but the whole creepy factor to it and the way that it ties into that being based on real killings in their world and the whole meta nature and creepiness of the true crime and all that kind of ties into today and all that stuff. And, look at the great acting on Jenna Ortega's face right there, man. You got to love it, bro. You got to love it. And then you get the whole shot of, our group here looking at the shrine, looking at everything going on here, discussing things all huddled around here. All 9 of the original Ghostface killer costumes right there, y'all. All 9 of them right there. One particular framed. Who is that? For me, I'm going to put my money on Stu Macher because I believe he's involved in it. And, yeah, but... Oh, wait, no, it's Billy because I think we see an L and a Y on that. Yeah, I think Billy's the one framed, because Stu, I think, is the one right next to it on the right of it. Interesting. Jill's over there right between Kirby and Mindy. Let's see what else we got here. Charlie's over there on the end next to Kirby as well. Amber's right next to Mindy. Richie's right next to Ethan Laundrie's character, or Ethan Laundrie. And then I can't tell what the other one says next to Stu. Or the other 2, but you would have to assume that would be Mickey, Roman, and Debbie Salt, a.k.a. Mrs. Loomis. So those would be the only ones left out of the picture there. But yeah, so interesting stuff to kind of make out there. And then you got it. We've seen that shot before. We've seen this one before. This is a brand new shot. Y'all are probably going to end up obviously seeing in the thumbnail, I believe. That's a cool one of the shrine stuff. There's another one of Ghostface in the theater shrine area. Another one of Ghostface in the same area with the freaking projector in the background there. Freaking sick ass image. That would make a sick ass poster. That would be like cool, like Photoshop, like even little project, or just putting like a cool ass background type thing in there. Cool stuff. Ghostface running his ass off over there. And that's a sick ass shot of Ghostface right there. Super freaking Scream 4 vibes, and I love it, man. I fucking love it. Straight up Scream 4 vibes. I love it. And another one of him trying to break into a room that looks like it's tied into that same apartment area we've seen before. And I think that's all for the new shots right there. So that's it for the photo gallery over there on HelloSydney.com, one of the official places you can get your Scream news, non-spoilery and all that. Love it. You can get behind-the-scenes stuff as well for the previous stuff of all the Scream films. You can get trivia. Also, you can get where the filming locations are located and all that, music, videos, all that good jazz. So make sure you go hit up this website. Really dope site that I wanted to shout out and use here to use as part of my breakdown. Love these guys. No sponsorship or affiliates at all. Just really a big fan of this website as an actual True Blue fan myself. So just wanted to show that to y'all. That's pretty much it for this breakdown. That is the final official Scream 6 update here on the channel. We're not going to have any more Scream content until the official spoiler review I'm going to be working on this weekend between Saturday and Sunday. And within 24 hours of me filming that review, you're going to see it here on the channel. So by this Sunday, look out for that thing right there. And we're going to have all this cool Scream content going throughout the rest of the month. We're going to have some really cool rankings and fun surprises. The only ones I'm going to tease y'all with is I'm going to re-rank all of the Scream films, including 6, of course, and then I'm also going to re-rank all of the Ghostface killers as well. So I'm going to be doing that and some fun surprises mixed in there. So make sure you stay tuned and don't sleep on any of that goodness. And until then, make sure you stay tuned and you live her alone.